Hello and welcome back to Emotionally Speaking. I'm Carla McLaren, and the question we have for this week is a very interesting one that you may have dealt with in the workplace. It is about a colleague who does not respect personal space. Now, there's a little backstory with this story, which is that these people are not in a cubicle farm, which would be great. It's an open office situation. So we've got another employee who is leaving coffee cups around and who is wearing headphones and singing. Right? So you're going to see a lot of problems in an open office situation because people need to have their personal space, and an open office situation takes it all away. Right? So you don't have in some extreme open offices, you don't even get to have a desk. Really? So this person who is leaving the coffee cups around and wearing the headset and also singing is trying to set boundaries, right? But he can't. He can't because there aren't boundaries. The headsets are a really good way to try to set boundaries, but the singing, not so much. Although sometimes when you're totally inside a really good set of headsets, right, you just start singing, you go, oops. But the coffee cup, sort of trying to spread out. You'll see this in open office environments. Lots of really unusual behaviors. Well, they're not unusual. They're totally understandable behaviors start to spring up because these environments are not very conducive to human reality. They're a big idea for management. And they save money too because you have fewer walls. Although there is a lot of problem with the open office environment, and it is the same as the problem with the open classroom, which was a big thing in the 70s and the 80s, but they found that they've had to close these classrooms back up because in the research, I looked through this, there's something called, irrelevant meaningful noise. And what that means is it's irrelevant to you, but it's meaningful because it's human language. So there's a part of your ear, there's a part of your brain that will always be listening to it because there could be something important there. But the rest of your brain knows don't listen to it because you're supposed to be focusing. So in unregulated noise environments or open office or open classroom environments, you will have people having a lot of difficulty focusing. And you might get squabbles and fights because people are just up in each other's, auditory space. They're in each other's physical space. So you're going to see trouble in these environments. They're not healthy for learning or getting your work done. So what do we do with someone who is trying to set a boundary in a place where boundaries are not available? Number one, humor. Number two, kindness. Right? Because the person is trying to make a space for himself in a situation where there's no space for himself. Right? So maybe just asking, if someone's doing that to you a lot, where the singing and the coffee cups wherever, this is going to be a boundary violation for you, both on your ears and on your desk area or wherever it is that you find this coffee cup. So you should be feeling a bit of the boundary protecting emotion, which is anger. But if you kind of come after the person who's having trouble with boundaries, you're going to injure them more than maybe you need to, right? I don't know why you would need to injure them in the first place, but it's going to be too much. So you might do it with kindness, with humor, with empathy, but still set a boundary. I don't mean, oh, just do whatever you want, it's fine. That's not what I mean. I mean, just say, hey, mister, I think you lost your coffee cup, or something like that. Or can I help you because I'm finding your coffee cup everywhere and I'm just getting a little grumpy. So what can we do? That sort of thing. So don't lie about what you're feeling, but you don't have to go over the person like, the bear, because they're already having trouble with boundaries, right? You can tell it by their behavior that they're kind of spread out and they're trying to create boundaries, but the voice is coming out. They're having a hard time regulating in the environment. So it's not going to be personal toward you. It's just what happens in that kind of situation. So if you are in an open office environment and you are finding that there are a lot of boundary violations, You should feel the boundary emotion of anger, but see if you can work with it in a way that's gentle, in a way that's funny, in a way that's empathic, and understand that everybody's having trouble in this environment because the environment is problematic. So maybe gather the people together and say, we are kind of trapped in this place, right? Until management goes to the next fad. I don't know what it's going to be. We sit on balls. But how do we create a world that is useful and workable for ourselves so that we can get our work done? You know, and then have something come out of the problem instead of this person's bothering me and this person's this and I'm always having to clean up the coffee cup. Instead, let's see if we can create a whole community who are dealing with the fact that their environment is not supportive. Emotionally speaking, I think that is the most supportive and loving and truly workable option in a situation where you really can't control what's going on. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.